This is Jerem Adair, and welcome to my tutorial on getting massive traffic through LinkedIn. If you look through my website statistics, you'll start to notice a pattern pretty quickly. Most of my traffic comes from LinkedIn, and I get this traffic pretty much entirely through posting discussions on LinkedIn groups. And right now, I'm going to show you exactly how I do this and get great results. First of all, the great secret to my success is, guess what? Following the rules. Most groups have a list of rules for you to abide by, and if you ignore them, then you're fighting against the system instead of working with it. For example, some people in desperation spam the heck out of their LinkedIn groups by posting promotional stuff, thinking that they'll get all the traffic they want based on the sheer number of posts that they have out there. But this doesn't work. They're fighting against the system. Their discussions will get flagged as promotional, and nobody looks at the promotions tab, and they'll probably get banned from all the good groups. So this is not sustainable. Likewise, some people will post jobs on the discussion section because that's where the traffic is, but they'll also get flagged and possibly kicked out of the group. Now, people do look at the jobs tab if they're looking for a job, so go ahead and post in there if you have a job offering. That does work, but it doesn't work on the discussion section. So let's talk about what does work. If you're looking for traffic for your website, good, qualified traffic, here's what you do. The first key to getting massive traffic through LinkedIn discussions is getting people to comment on and like your discussion. If you don't get comments and likes, your discussion is going to die a slow death up in this rotating box, and very few, if any, people are ever going to see it. If you get comments and likes, however, your discussion will move into the main page, and this is where you want to be, of course. The first thing you need is an attention-grabbing title that makes people want to click on your discussion to see what it's about. I'm not going to go into detail on this, however, because I do it in other tutorials, but it still amazes me how many boring discussion headlines there are out there. So take some time to put a little thought into this. The thing I really wanted to bring up here is the content of your post. Anybody can write a catchy headline, but it's the body of your post that will determine whether you live or die in LinkedIn's discussion groups. There are two distinct parts to a successful LinkedIn discussion. The first part is the content of your discussion, and the second part are the links that take people to your website. The content is what gets you comments and likes. The links are what get you the traffic. Here's how they work together. You have to have good content right there in the discussion. Not a sales pitch, not a job opening. Good content that your target market would like to read. Some people make the mistake of just writing a sentence or two and posting a link back to their website, which is not bad, but it typically fails to get you very many comments and likes. And like we established earlier, if you don't get comments and likes, then you're not going to get on the front page of the discussion group where all the action is. So the content of your discussion has to be good, usable, informative content, right there in your discussion. And this is much more likely to get you comments and likes, which will then keep you in front of the other group members. On the other hand, some people have really good content, but there's no link to any website. Now, this is also not bad, and there are a lot of instances where there's no need for a link, like if you're just asking a question or you're doing research. But if you're looking to get traffic to your site, then you need a link in your discussion that takes people to your website. The best way to do this is to offer supplemental material to your discussion's content. Maybe you offer really good information here, and links on related topics here. Or perhaps you describe an outline of something here with links to specific examples here. As long as you educate people with your content and then give them a good reason to want to click through and continue with a link, you've got a discussion that will bring you both comments and traffic. Does that make sense? And most group members and group owners are perfectly fine with this because you're giving them what they want. Good, usable, actionable information. If you give people what they want, then they're more than happy to give you what you want. Are we good so far? The next step to being a good, productive member of a group is to go and comment on somebody else's post every time you post something. When I post a discussion on a group, I also go and find one other good discussion to comment on. You want to do this because you're not here to do a drive-by posting where you post something and run. You want to do the things that will make group managers and other group members happy. And what makes them happy is having a group full of members like yourself posting informative, insightful discussions and also leaving thoughtful and useful comments on other people's discussions. Contributing your knowledge and expertise to other good discussions will bring other members back to the group more often, which is good for you, and makes life a lot easier on the group managers, which is also good for you. I can't tell you how many ways that making good, insightful comments on other people's discussions will come back to help you, but it will in terms of new connections and people who want to do business with you. Once again, give people what they want, and you'll get what you want. Don't fight against the group rules or try to work the system. Work with the system, and things flow so much better. Now, there are details we could talk about here. When is the best time to post? When and how to reply to comments on your post? Strategies for getting more comments. Yeah, that's a big one. I'll cover these in other tutorials, because the most important thing we need to talk about right now is posting multiple discussions in multiple LinkedIn groups. Because if you have a discussion on the first page of a group, that's good, but that's not going to get you the traffic that I'm talking about. But if you're on the first page of 20 groups, now you're talking. If you're going to get your posts gathering comments and clicks on multiple groups, let me state the obvious. You can't go out to 20 different groups and post the same discussion on all of them. LinkedIn members often jump from group to group just to see what's happening, and if they see you've posted the same discussion everywhere, not only are they not going to participate in your discussion, but they very well may flag you as being promotional, and they'll see you as a spammer, and on occasion I've seen people go back and delete their comments on a previous discussion after seeing it posted all over the place in other groups. And yes, I've tested all these different approaches out myself, so I can tell you from first-hand experience that what I'm encouraging you to do here does work a lot better than what I'm telling you not to do. And what does work is posting discussions on multiple groups as long as each discussion is different. Now, this of course means that you need 20 different interesting and informative discussions that you can post with links going back to your website containing more interesting and informative information. You can start with 2 or 3 and work your way up to 10 or 20. I've got over 50 myself. But the idea is that if people see you on the front page of multiple groups, but each of your discussions are different and interesting, you're going to stand out in a very positive way. Keeping track of your discussions is not too hard. I just use a text editor, and I'll list the title of the post, the group I posted it in, and a link to that discussion so I can easily go and check on them. This discussion has been on the front page for a couple weeks now, and a well-done discussion on a smaller group like this will probably get me 5 to 10 clicks a day. On a bigger group, maybe 20 to 50. Do the math. It all adds up. And honestly, with a little practice, you can get all this down to where it really doesn't take much of your time. So I hope this has been informative. I hope that you use this to get a lot of good traffic to your site. And I hope to see our LinkedIn groups get better and better as we fill them with good information and comment on each other's posts and share our knowledge and experience with each other. Because if we abuse these groups, then nobody benefits from them. But as you use these things that I've talked about here, I can not only guarantee you that LinkedIn groups will become a better and better place for you to engage with your target market, but you'll see a night and day difference in the amount of traffic you get. And even more importantly, the quality of your relationship with that traffic. And that's going to directly affect your bottom line. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.